Good evening to you. How are you? Welcome. It's Tuesday night. It's August the 14th of April. And this is BOBCAST. They seem to be rolling on these BOBCASTs now and having to think a little bit more about what I do and what I say and try to get my head around them a little bit. So that was 2 little bits, wasn't it? Well, no more little bits today, please. Actually, I mustn't have any more little bits at all because I must be honest, I've been comfort eating for the past few weeks. But now you'll be pleased to know I've run out of comfort, so I'm moving on to Lenore. Yeah, I think that was a bit of a softer joke, really, a bit more bounce about it. Remember bounce? I don't want to dazzle you with any of these things. Oh, Mo, you say. And all those other washing powders. Oh, poor wee soul. Aye, as they say in Scotland. I'm too bold to say any more. There's one beginning with R. Was it Radiance? But I can't remember that at all. Anyhow, when I started this, my script didn't say I was going to do washing powder jokes, but they're going to be pure, no blue. Okay, no blue whatsoever. Anyhow, how's your day been? Mine's like every day at the moment, full of lots of emotions, and full of things, and hard things, and easy things, and difficult ones. But you know, that's what life's about. And one of the things I've been doing today is making quite a lot of telephone calls and speaking to people. And the underlying message is people beginning to worry now about the future and what the future brings, how that's going to be. And we saw that reflected on TV tonight as well, with people trying to work out what is the future going to be like. Oh, by the way, why do seagulls fly across the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, there'd be bagels. Thank you for the person who puts those funny jokes up every morning. They just make me giggle first thing. I've got to stop shaking. My leg keeps shaking. And do you know something, that Vincent Price is taller than Katie Price, but heavier than Alan Price? I found all this information out on a price comparison website that I was on earlier today. Remember Alan Price? That great song, Simon Smith is amazing, dancing bear, do 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 do. Quite missing doing my music show, I have to say, and I haven't done any music this week, but I did listen this morning to the Andrea Bocelli Music for Hope that's on YouTube, and it was on Facebook, from Milan. Stunningly beautiful. Just amazingly beautiful. Finished actually with Amazing Grace, with him standing outside this huge cathedral in Milan. Nobody there singing that great song of freedom and of hope. And some of the things he did inside, the photography, I do recommend. It's about 20 minutes, so it's a sort of mini concert, a consulate. That used to be a type of cigarette I smoked. Do you remember consulate? Menthol consulate. It's amazing just how easy it slips back. Oof. That's a toothpick, by the way, in case you think it's a ciggy. But yes, yeah, I smoked for far too long. Far too long. Anyhow, name of a search engine that isn't Yahoo. Sound that your phone makes when someone WhatsApps you. Surname of Chandler, the Crosby that sings. These are a few of my favourite bings. That last bit was out of tune. These are a few of my favourite bings. Dee. Shall I sing that again? The name of a search engine that isn't Yahoo. Sound that your phone makes when someone WhatsApps you. Surname of Chandler, the Crosby who sings. These are a few of my favourite bings. That last note's wrong, I can't get it right, but there we are, one of those things. Anyhow, two windmills were standing in a field, and one says to the other, "What type of music do you like?" And the other says, "I'm a big metal fan." Right, I think that's enough of that. So lots of phoning and talking to people, and the feeling sort of generally is sort of concern really, and where we're going to go in the future. And I think that's something for us all to start really thinking about. Oh, do you like the new tree? The tulips have gone. They've gone from Amsterdam, tulips from Amsterdam, but today we've got an Easter egg tree. And that's been on the table in our lounge for the last few days, and just brought it through, and I rather like that actually. The problem is the eggs aren't chocolate. That is disappointing, because I do like a bit of chocolate. Talking of chocolate, I found a really nice book. Came in my Church Times. I'm debating whether I'm going to have another membership of the Church Times or not. I think it might come to an end. Some lovely prayers though. This one I liked. God of compassion, be close to all those who are ill, afraid, disappointed, or in isolation. In their loneliness, be their consolation. In their anxiety, be their hope. In their darkness, be their light. We ask this in your name. Amen. I like that. That's from a book called Prayers for Use During the Coronavirus Outbreak, which was quite a good thing, I think. So what are you doing? How are you letting the time or easing the time by? I spoke to someone that said, well, I get up an hour later than I usually do, wander downstairs, have a bit of breakfast. By the time I've had my breakfast and then think about getting dressed, it's 11s, a few 11s, and maybe a bit of dusting, maybe not. They say lunch, bit of a kip after lunch, and then out for the hours constitutional, and that's the day done. Watching a bit of telly. We started watching Nest tonight, so that was interesting. Quite challenging. And on BBC One Scotland, I presume you get it in Englandshire as well. But it's, good stuff. There's some interesting old reruns coming up. David Attenborough's just produced his first book again. I don't know what this one. Oh, it's a railway. It's the Highland Sleeper mug today. Not only been on a sleeper once, I must admit I didn't sleep at all. And I found the tracks on the edge not very comfy as well, because I couldn't sort of get my legs out to sleep properly. But there we are. So, talking of Milan, recently somebody was in Paris. Now, I know there's a sort of just a European link. Do we have European links now? I'm not sure if we do or not. Anyhow, don't you remember the wonderful heady days of Brexit? Weren't they a joy compared to this? Anyhow, recently a guy in Paris got away with stealing several pictures from the Louvre. That's an art gallery, by the way, the Louvre. And however, the planning of the crime, he got in, he got past security, got the pictures, but then he was caught just 2 streets down because his lorry that he'd got ran out of petrol. Dreadful, awful. When asked how he could mastermind this amazing crime and then make such an obvious error, he said, I had no money to buy the gas to make the van go. Come cut my ear off. see how we do. I was watching quite a funny thing with an ear. We watched Modern Family, and one of them decided to become a painter and cutting his ear off. Anyhow, enough of this nonsense. So I also met someone today, and I was chatting to them. Someone who I don't think they would mind me saying, slightly the older generation. And they said to me, Bob, thank you, you are our dessert. They said every day we have lunch, and then the 4 of us, as we have our pudding, we put you by Bluetooth onto and listen to the webcast or the BOBCAST. So thank you to them. I wouldn't have thought people over 90 would be listening to this, but they are. So there we are. Another day slips by. And a friend of mine tried to annoy me today, by the way, with some bird puns. But I said to him, "You couldn't play at that game." He said, "Do you do them parrot fashion?" I said, "No, not at all." I may have cracked that one before, but you can't have a baby bird without cracking a few eggs. So today we continue to pray for those who are poorly. We give thanks for the lives of those who've passed away, over 700 today. You know, those numbers just trot off, but every one of those is someone's mum, dad, brother, cousin, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, or whatever it happens to be. They're all real people, every one of them. So our heart goes out to them, to those who are caring for them, those who are worrying about them, those who are praying for them, those who are scared, those who are cross, those who are angry, those who feel let down, those who are frustrated because they can't get to see them. That must be one of the hardest things, and I know the people I've spoken to, that is one of the hardest things. Those who don't want to be a statistic, those who are working for a cure. And so let's just hold all those in mind. You'll notice we have a silent snorer tonight. She is there, but she's just beginning to work up to it. She had to go out in the garden before I did this, So Isla and Daisy, thank you for keeping nice and quiet. They're sort of sleeping 69. They're sort of up and down, heads at either end. One day I'll be able to swing the camera around when I can afford a real camera. Anyhow, so to all those people we've been thinking about, we're sending our love to you, sending our care to you and our concern, and praying for you. So watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones. Bless your dying ones. Soothe your suffering ones. Pity your afflicted ones. Shield your joyous ones, your happy ones, and all for your love's sake. Amen. If you do have a minute, go and find that Andrea Bocelli concert, Music for Hope from Milan. It is just fabulous, and it just quietens you down, whether you like classical or whether you don't. I'll leave you with my tree for a minute, my Easter tree. And there's a lovely cross of nails behind it on the radiator as well, all around my chair. Good night. God bless. See ya tomorrow.